This is producer JR, and you are watching the proud New York Jets fan show. Now give it up for my boy Nick.
Rodgers is a fucking Jet. Let's go!
This for my special delivery. Spit like this, get my wrist all glittery.
Can't wait.
Get kicked, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the mean in the chivalry.
Let's make sure we play like the New York Jets.
Hello?
Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a womb, no room for intruders. Spark, twist in Philly.
Give it up.
Good humor. Don't be silly. It's baby, baby. I got it all smothered.
Let's go
Like
eat a
makeup.
damn snack. What's up, everybody? Welcome. I am Nick. I am your host. Here on Proud New York Jets fans. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank all the new members of the Facebook group. Check. Okay, good. There we go. Got the right mic on. I want to thank all the new members of the Facebook group. Knobcraft here already. What's up, pal? I knew you were ready. That's the only reason I'm here. I don't even want to do a live show. I could just talk to you for an hour and be happy. But if I'm going to bring in anyone who's going to ruin my happiness and my joy in life and anything that I look forward to, it's this little fucking bald-headed sloth of a curmudgeon. Now that's an introduction. That's an introduction. No yelling, no, just this sloth of a curmudgeon. This Debbie Downer of a human being.
You're just mad you never got to hit Macho Man with the guitar, you freaking Anvil Neidhart, because Hulk Hogan was dragged in by the lovely Elizabeth and was able to stop you.
Why would Jim the Anvil Neidhart have a guitar? That was the Honky Tonk Man.
Well, they were helping him, though. It was like them. Maybe they were just holding Hogan, and it was the Honky Tonk Man. But then lovely Elizabeth ran and got Hogan, and he came and saved the day. And that's how the Macho Madness met the Mania. The madness meets the mania.
I wish that I was Jake the Snake Roberts and you were the Macho Man, and I could put a snake on you to bite your arm on Saturday morning and traumatize children for the rest of their lives, and be a 44-year-old man and still have a snake fear because of what you saw at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning Superstars in 1988.
Oh yeah, Macho Man doesn't do snakes. Oh,
The cream always rises to the top.
Lovely Elizabeth doesn't want me playing with pythons. Oh yeah.
Little I know that Elizabeth's gonna play with Lex Luger.
Dusty Rhodes, American Dream, lovely Elizabeth. Oh yeah.
She's gonna rub his biceps and then OD in his house.
Oh yeah. Come on, elbow. Elbow off the top rope.
You want to have fun? You go back and you Google Macho Man. The backstage interviews with Mean Gene. My God, it's amazing that they were able to function on drugs. Mark Riss, Hank, what's up, guys?
My favorite. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say my favorite wrestler in interviews was the Magnificent Morocco. Back in the days when he feuded with Rocky Johnson, The Rock's father.
Yeah, I think I told you this before. In the 80s, a lot of them lived in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Sergeant Slaughter, Roddy Piper, Don Morocco. Because when it was a regional territory, Woodbridge had the Turnpike, the Parkway, 287, Route 1, Route 9, Philly, New York, everywhere you needed to get. Woodbridge was the hub. And I remember being in first grade, and we were going to pick up my sister from preschool. And Sergeant Slaughter had what looked like a hearse, but like a station wagon that was camouflaged with American flags on the front where like the antennas would be. And he was going to the bank, and he was pulling into the bank on Green Street in Island. And my mom, back then, there was obviously in the 80s, no cell phones. She gunned it. She gets to my sister's preschool, which was in the basement of like a house. And she says to my aunt, I'm taking Nikki to go try to meet him. Grab Heather, I'll come get her from your house. And then she guns it back up Green Street in Island. And we get there, and he was pulling out on the road at the time, and we didn't get to see him. But a guy I grew up with, a kid I grew up with, we would be at his house. His backyard was a cemetery in Island, and it was like in a hidden neighborhood. And Roddy Piper rented a house on that street for a while, and we would go down there and look for the car every time I was there. But it was a weekend, so they were always out and not home. But back in the day,
they came to a church in my neighborhood in Canarsie back in the day when they used to just do the churches, right? And like the off TV shows, and we went into the McDonald's across the street on Rockaway Parkway in Canarsie, and all the wrestlers were in there, or a lot of them, right? Rocky Johnson was in there, and Billy Graham, the fake Billy Graham, and we got autographs and all that stuff, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, back I've met a bunch of guys since. I was actually in an elevator. If you remember February 24th, 1997, obviously everybody does. It was the Monday Night Raw where they went back to the Manhattan Center when Paul Heyman and ECW invaded them. And when we left, I went behind like a place I wasn't supposed to, and I told my buddy to follow me. And we got in the elevator with Doc Hendricks, Doc Hendricks, one of the Freebirds.
Okay.
And I just pulled up my shirt and I had him sign my stomach in the elevator because I didn't have any paper. And he did it. Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes was the guy.
Yeah. I remember that.
So he's like, "You got to be kidding me, right, son?" I'm like, "Just do it so I can say that I met you and I have proof." He's like, "Okay." And he signed my stomach in an elevator.
That's great. You're big with elevators.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I have issues with stairs. King Lasky, the year too, February 24th, 1997.
That's funny.
That's wild. That's wild. I showed my nephew and I showed my kids. You go to Monday Night Raw for February 24th, 1997, back when the WWE had their network before it went to Peacock. And I was in the picture on the WWE network for the preview for that show. I sat across, this lady outside told me and my buddy, sit across from the camera, or the bleachers across from one of the cameras. You'll be on TV the entire time. We were down in the front row. I was on the whole time. This is back in the day with pagers and beepers. And my dad, my friends, my girlfriend at the time, I must have gotten 100 pages. I told them to page me when you see me, and it didn't stop. It got to the point where I held it up and went, enough, stop, because I was front row. Undertaker, Sonny was there with the arm wrestling match with Marlene and the Honky Tonk Man. Honky Tonk Man pointed down to me and my buddy and said, "I love you guys," because we were going nuts about Sonny and Marlene during a commercial.
Oh my!
If I send you the link and you watch, you won't even watch what's going on in the ring. I had a black Undertaker shirt on with a black bandana, and I'm skinny as hell, and you'll be like, "I can't believe that's Nick," but I lost my mind when Sonny came out.
That's amazing.
All right. Enough about the wrestling. Enough about when I could walk. Let's get into our team. So today's cut down day. We've seen a little bit of people getting cut here and there. Trey Dean was a shocker, right? Shout out to Rusty Spooner. He turned us on to him months ago, and we've went in depth about him on your channel and my channel. We hope he makes it back, but I thought that was a surprise. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah. No, I was definitely surprised. That was like a punch in the stomach. I had a feeling that it was going to be, I knew there was danger because Ashton Davis had a really good camp and he has that special teams thing. You know what I mean? People don't understand how valuable Ashton Davis is on special teams. He's really, really good. He's one of our key people on special teams. So
that's pretty cool.
That, and with the little opportunities he was given, he actually did well. Like last year, he sealed the Cleveland game. He didn't get that many reps in, but it's not like he didn't play well when he did. And then Trey Dean is really a one-dimensional right now. Well, I wouldn't agree with that because his pass defense was very good in camp as well. So a lot of people are saying, the reason I heard was, he's a box safety, and I understand box safeties are considered easier to get. They're just tackling machines. But the reality is that Trey Dean actually did really good on pass defense in camp. So it's a tough one, and I don't know if he's going to make it through. I hope he does. I hope we can lock him in the practice squad because I think Trey Dean could be a really good starting safety someday.
I am not petrified, but I think Trey Dean has Bill Belichick defender written all over him, right?
He likes versatile guys that do both. He doesn't like the one-dimensional players. So
True.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that's just the kind of thing he would do. I mean, he's probably eyeing all the young wide receivers we have. It's like you almost could feel it. Like if we do anything, if whoever we let go, he's going to grab. I'm glad. The word is that we're keeping Gibson, and I'm really glad about that because Gibson seems like a typical New England weapon.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Listen, when Aaron Rodgers spoke about him the other day, he said everything that all of us are thinking. He's had a good camp. He's quick. He's elusive. You want to see guys in this league who, when they catch the ball short of the sticks, can make the first guy miss and gain those couple extra yards, right? If it's 3rd and 8 and they blitz and you got to dump it off 5-6 yards, you want a guy who can make that first guy miss or quick enough to take that angle and get up in front and get the first down. We know how elusive Garrett Wilson is without the ball and with the ball and how he can get open and then make things happen. I don't see that with Lazard. Lazard is a big methodical, if he catches a slant, he can keep running, but he's not going to juke and jive you, and shake you out of your cleats. Cobb is a speedy, good guy. He's short and quick, but it's a new breed these days with these new kids, man. These new guys are so shifty and quick, and Aaron Rodgers says he likes what you're doing. You're making the goddamn roster, right? Like, I think it's a no-brainer. Brownlee. For now, Brownlee's there too. Rodgers spoke about him before the 6-week hiatus after OTAs, and he's there. So it's Aaron Rodgers has a very good track record throughout his career with undrafted and late-round wide receivers. And you're seeing that again here. I said it last week, and people jumped down my throat. I didn't see them going out and making a trade for a wide receiver when Corey Davis retired. In a way, I think we get better without Corey Davis because now we get shiftier, speedier guys, which fits the new day and era in the NFL. You already got one big guy in Lazard. You don't need 2 big or slower guys. You need smaller, quicker guys now.
That's definitely a hot take. One thing I want to say about Xavier is a lot of people think like they're looking at him as this, like there's something they're not factoring in. It's not like he's 27 years old and hit his ceiling. We're talking about a rookie. So if he's doing what he's doing, and we see a lot of good things, even though we saw some mistakes, he's a rookie. I mean, remember, it could take 2 to 3 years before a guy hits anywhere near, gets to that potential. This kid could be really good. It's his first camp. He's a rookie. Like, some people really got to just understand that. It's not just Gibson because he's the best guy right now, maybe. But, man, if he as a rookie could come in undrafted and do what he's done, the question becomes how good can he be?
Yes. And that's the science in putting a roster together, right? It's who are we today and who can we be with more work? We've had you since the last weekend of April or the first weekend in May, and we see this, and this. Now, through coaching and player development, we can get you to be this, and this. That's the science. Who can we get there and who's maxed out and peaked in college and then maybe tapered off in OTAs once the defense saw what they could do. So it's not a perfect science, but the fact that we cut 7 guys last year that got picked up by other teams shows that they kind of know what the fuck they're doing here, right? We have a legitimate, competent front offense now who not even guys that we draft, the undrafted players that we bring in, other teams are hoping that we release some guys. And it's not that we're releasing the wrong guy because, there will be that portion of Jets fans who I will pick on and make fun of. Oh, we cut the wrong guy. He got picked up here. He got picked up here. No. we had 70 guys in camp who were good enough to make an NFL roster. We're doing better work finding these guys than other teams are. Sure, we may let a guy go that goes and has success somewhere else, right? I think we both agree if Dean gets picked up somewhere, he'll go have a nice career. He'll make a little niche for himself in the NFL.
It's kind of like New England losing Berrios, right? I mean, they put him out there and we poached him. He gave us some good value for a while. Now he's in Miami making about $8 million or whatever they signed him to, and they want to use him as a real weapon. I'm not saying he's a star, but he's a real NFL player that New England never got anything out of, and it just happens because it's the sign of a franchise that's very strong.
Yeah, Mark, the two guys that got cut early were Bam Knight and Trey Dean, which also means those two guys clear the 48-hour waiver quicker. So maybe they're trying to dump them quick and hope that they can scoop them up and get them on the practice squad. And then isn't there a certain amount you can protect on the practice squad, right?
Yeah, you can protect up to a certain amount of players. I don't know if this is exactly, it was like 4 players each week, but then there was a limit on how many times you could protect the same player.
Gotcha.
So you kind of have to shuffle it around. So I think it's like 4 that you can protect, and you can protect them for like 4 weeks in a row, and then you have to expose them. Something like that.
Okay. I'd see Corey and Andrew here in the chat. New names to me, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe. We have a good time here. We do a fun show. Andrew, I think I may have seen your name before. But thank you for returning. If you guys are returning, please forgive me. There's a lot of names popping up.
Yeah, I see a lot of names in yours that never come in mine. It's interesting. We got to get people to cross-subscribe to each other's channel.
Since we're
on each other's channel all the time.
Yeah. Well, I've been promoting big on Facebook with 2 groups, my Proud New York Jet fan group, which got public, and it was private and like invite only. Andrew, thank you. I saw your latest comment. I appreciate it.
But to anybody out there, it's just Jets Lounge at YouTube. It's just Jets Lounge.
Yeah. And then I've been Live Rounds, a group that Kevin Robbins runs, and he was gracious enough to make me an admin there so I can tag at everyone. That's awesome. When I go live, I put my group in that group. So you'll see some new names popping in. Hopefully, right?
Andrew's a sub to both of us. That's good to see.
Yeah. Wednesday nights we do a show together on Jeremy's channel at 8:00, which I might start co-broadcasting onto my channel. If you're okay with that, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But this way we get that double coverage. Dean's coverage in Giants game was terrible. I missed a little bit of it. I was at a fantasy football draft. I watched the first quarter and then had to get in the Uber and head home. Ravens are releasing Melvin Gordon. 5 or 6 corners.
Running back.
We may only have 4 corners for the first game, and then you bring Eccles back after. They're counting Hardy as a corner. He's mainly special teams, so 6 when you look at it, right? But Hardy's a special teams guy.
Yeah, we never count him as our cornerback.
And JD, we trust. That's it, man. That's it. I've said on Twitter, I've said in DM groups that I don't care who I got 49 of the 53 or I got 51 out of the 53. I had all these guys. I don't give a shit. I don't care who's right. There's one person in the Jets world I need to be right. It's Joe Douglas. We need Joe Douglas to build the perfect team. I don't care what you picked. If 2 guys don't make the team from your list, who cares? Oh, the chosen one was chosen to be cut. You saw that? Anderson cut in Miami.
We saw that, and I know a lot of people ran around right away and said, we got to pick him up. And my answer is why? He's getting passed around like a hot potato now.
Yeah.
There's obviously something wrong, whether it's his attitude or whether his skills have eroded. I mean, it's weird because he was so good for us. I thought he was really good. Maybe not a number 1 receiver, but I thought he was a solid NFL player. And it's just weird how like skills, go away, or maybe he has a bad attitude. I mean, he's not old, right? He's still got to be 27, 28.
He got to be a little older, right? He was a year or two into the league, and then Sam was a rookie, and then Sam was his guy. He was Sam's guy as a rookie. So that's 5 years. Yeah, I would say 28, 29 would be my guess. Thank you, Andrew. He does sub to both of us. Yeah, Corey. Kevin's a good dude. We're trying to link up and get him on one of our afternoon shows here. He's in Cabo right now with his wife, having a good time.
Kevin who?
Real good dude. I don't get notifications due to
Kevin
too much
who?
work. Gotta say, work alert. Yeah, good point,
Oh,
Andrew.
he was
Good
born.
point. It was tough during the day, but this is Wednesdays at 8 is Jeremy's show on his channel, and I think I'm going to be doing Tuesdays at 7 for my own hour during the season. So keep an eye out for that.
He's 30 years old.
Is he? Okay. Yeah. I figured because he was with us a year or two before Sam.
Yeah.
I know it's a different. Hey, GVH, what's up, pal? I know it's a different conversation regarding cuts and such, but in other news, was glad to see Miller won't play week 1. Sorry, I don't care to play teams at their best. Did you see my tweet? Is that why you worded it that way? Because, I mean, me, as a coach and as a competitor, I always wanted to beat a team at their best. I didn't want any excuses from when we beat you. I want you at your best. That's me. I mean, there's a lot of fans that don't agree with that, you know, a win's a win. I get that. I said today, and Dom C, our good friend, I want the litmus test. I want to know how good are the New York Jets. I don't want to play the Chiefs without Mahomes. I don't want to play the Bills without Josh Allen or Von Miller or, you know, the Chiefs without Chris Jones. I want to beat you at your best. So I'm very I'm on an island here, it seems like, with that take, but that's me. That's what I'm about. Like, I don't want easy wins. If you're going to be a Super Bowl champion, you're going to have to beat a lot of good teams. Beat them at their best so you really know who you are. And then if you have weaknesses, they'll get exposed. I'd rather my weaknesses get exposed early in the season. We have got time to fix them. But that's me.
So Jonathan Taylor, by the way, is probably going to be a Dolphin by real soon, maybe within the hour or two. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's. You remember I said it last week, and we were all saying which team. To me, it was so obvious that he was going to end up in Miami, you know, and it looks that way. I wonder how much they're going to give up for him. I hope they give up a lot. I hope it's as much as possible, obviously, to weaken them. Because I really think, yeah, he's good and everything. I get it, but it's still, you're only as good as your offensive line. I don't put him, you know, like as soon as Indianapolis's line struggled last year, what happened to him? Disappeared.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, the Mike McDaniel, right? McDaniel's last name, the vaping coach.
Yeah.
They'll be committed to the run. So I'm curious to see what they could do.
Yep. We'll just get our guys.
You know, their most important thing is trying to keep their quarterback upright and healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to run as much as possible. And that's something that we're going to have to prepare for because, I mean, they're going to run as much as possible, but you're sitting there and you're paying Tyreek Hill $30 million and you invested all this money in Waddle. I mean, so there's a limit to how much they could just rely on the run, right? Until it becomes ridiculous. But I mean, we're going to obviously have to watch out for their running game because if Taylor does get going, you know, and then you have to fill the box, now you're leaving Tyreek open or Waddle open, and that's a problem.
Yeah. Here's something interesting. It's called Fantasy Fanatics. Dom sent it to us. Jonathan Taylor likely to be a Dolphin by the end of the day. The trade will likely include Christian Wilkins and possibly picks on both sides. The longer the Colts wait, the less they will be able to get for Taylor. Now, the Dolphins just gave another defensive lineman, not Wilkins, an extension. If you want to take Christian Wilkins off of that defensive line,
go ahead.
After you lost Jalen Ramsey for the majority of the season,
for a running back,
you're looking at games 45-40. You're trying to go back to the Dan Marino days, and you're going to be an 8-8 team. Because the difference with the Bills and the Jets, they can also shut you down. The Dolphins can't shut you down.
Maybe they just don't have the money to re-sign him, but for the long term, but for the short term, for this year, it hurts them. You don't give a really good defensive lineman away for a running back. I don't care. Unless it's like Adrian Peterson or something. Yeah. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think that makes them a weaker team. I'd rather play Miami without Wilkerson and they have Taylor. I take that any day.
You take Christian Wilkins off the Dolphins. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go bury him in Indy. I don't care. We don't play Indy. Go bury him there.
Yeah, because that makes it that much easier for our offensive line to protect Rodgers and to block in the running game. That's great for us.
Because I would not want Wilkins going up against Tomlinson for 25 to 30 pass attempts a game. I don't want it. Linebackers, I think the linebackers are a lock, right? It's Quincy, it's CJ, it's Sherwood. I think the rookie makes it.
Diane Barnes makes it.
I think my son makes it.
Tigo thinks that Surratt's going to make it too, and they're going with 5. His theory is that they're going to take Bodden and do the veteran release where we don't have to make him poachable.
Yeah.
And he's saying that's going to be the way we manipulate it to be able to keep Surratt. I don't doubt it. Like, I'm not saying that's impossible, but I definitely have Zaire Barnes ahead of Surratt.
Okay.
Like, we're not going to cut Zaire Barnes and keep Surratt. Like, I mean, it's possible, but I would be shocked.
Yeah. Next week, it's going to feel like a lifetime. I know. It's another trade. Bronco tight end, Broncos and Eagles. All the alerts are coming. Everyone's trying to make trades before 4:00 to get down to the 53.
Yeah,
I had a good comment today.
Get some value for guys before you cut them.
Yeah,
I'll take anything for Cologne. By the way, if it's true, people want Cologne. 7th round pick. 7th round pick. Just do it.
Your wife agrees. She would love you to wear cologne and stop smelling like McDonald's. If you get something, you get a 6 or a 7. Hey, they add up, right? If you want to move up into the 4th round, you got someone you like, you throw a couple 6s in there, and
yeah.
Sorry, I keep reading all the alerts coming in. Next weekend it's gonna be it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be fun. The calm is starting to hit, right? It's the calm before the storm. You know, we had the games, we got through the games healthy, and now the main thing is just build every day. Build upon the reps, get better, put the regular season plays in, build and expand upon the playbook. This defense, man. This defense is going to be fucking fun to watch, dude. There is going to be a lot of fun watching this defense do what they do. Woods, Jefferson, Quinnen, Solomon Thomas, everyone's making plays in the backfield. I know they went up against backups in the Giant offensive line, but we're loaded. We're doing it to everybody. We did it to Carolina. We did it to Tampa in practice. We saw Quinnen on Hard Knocks in one jet drive. He was feasting. So it's going to be fun, man. Let's talk wide receivers. As of right now, practice came out today, 1:30, 2:00. 7 wide receivers. Garrett Wilson, Lazard, Hardman, Cobb. Those are the untouchables, right? Those are the 4 that we all have locked in. And then it was Brownlee, released yesterday on his Instagram and Twitter that he made the 53. And then shortly after, Gibson said it. And now today, Irv Charles is saying on his Instagram he made the 53. That's really? 7 wide receivers.
Somebody was misled. How is that possible?
They were all there at practice today. As of practice at 2:00, all 7 were there. I don't see Charles or Brownlee being big enough to double as a tight end.
That means there's going to be a major, major surprise.
I agree.
I mean, it's simple math. If you're
they're holding on to them to possibly trade them right now, right? Like they didn't want to just let them go and get waived. They think they can get something for one of them. And I think Charles is the one that you see moved.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see how it's possible. Without a crazy cut, we can't go any lower on the amount of offensive linemen. You need 2 backup inside guys, and you need 2 backup tackles, and we have that, right? We know who the offensive linemen are. We know that we're keeping Max Mitchell. We know that we're keeping Turner. We know that we're keeping Schweitzer or whatever his name is, and we know that we're keeping who's the other one? Obviously Joe Tittman. So that's done. None of them are getting cut. The running back room, we're not cutting Izzy. So that's done. Bawden maybe gets cut, but then they are supposedly can bring him back. But how would they someone's gotta go, dude? There's just simply not enough spots on the team.
You're right. And it could be just, posturing. You hold on to the guy, and then a team reaches out to you. Hey, you got 7 wide receivers. We'd like to give you this for this, or we'd like to give you a pick for this guy instead of a player swap. But yeah. I'm excited. If Christian Wilkins gets traded off of Miami, Breece Hall is going to run for about 450 yards in 2 games.
Breece Hall's going to have some good times. Dalvin Cook is probably going to have a very good year because I think he's going to have a very good year. Also, I think he's going to run really hard and be really motivated because more than even his normal self. Because I think he's going to get caught up in this excitement. He really wants a ring. That's why he came here. I think that the people around him, the atmosphere. I think that he's going to put everything he has into this year, to every carry. And I think that we're going to have quite the duo.
Hank, yeah. I didn't get to your comment yet, but the deadline is 4 p.m. Eastern, New York time, where the league offices are. Thank you, Nathan and GVH, for getting to that. I didn't get down there yet.
And what people have to realize also about Dalvin Cook, I just want to say this, is he is a home run hitter as well. He's a guy who has yards for loss, yards for no gain. And how does he put up the yardage that he does? Home runs. He's the kind of guy that will do a 70-yard screen pass touchdown, or a lot like Breece Hall, except Breece Hall averages 5 yards a carry. So we're going to have a lot of home run hitters. This is really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at 4.
1 o'clock my time, so that's close,
hey,
right?
I got a doctor's office calling me. Go on one of your rants real quick.
Okay. Well, if it's 4 o'clock Eastern time, that means we got 13 minutes left to make a decision. So I cannot wait to look at the final 53. But again, I don't know how we could hold 7 wide receivers. I don't know who the surprise cut's going to be, because that means a surprise cut. I thought that you might see, I didn't know what was going to happen with Carl Lawson. I was worried it was going to be IR for the year at one point. And then I find out he practiced today. So we get good news there. So it's not him. There's no roster spot opening for him. I can only imagine that Carter Warren is going to be put on IR for the year. I don't know what other option they have. So I can see maybe Carter Warren, we redshirt him. He's injured anyway at the moment. So maybe he gets redshirted. And that's it. Bawden could be the odd man out. Yeah. He could be. I'm surprised because in the game against the Giants, he was in the first 2 drives. He was part of the starting offense. To me, that was a clear signal that he was going to be on the roster. Plus, Hackett is a fullback offensive coordinator. He likes having a fullback. And Bawden's really good. He's a really good fullback. So I'm perplexed. I really don't know where it's going to come from. I guess Yeboah must be gone, right? How could they do it? It's just the math is very, very clear. There's no way around the math. If you have 7 wide receivers and you're keeping the 4 running backs, and you want to keep the fullback, and you're going to keep Yeboah also, I just don't. The math is not going to add up for that. Unless they're going to cut Bryce Hall, or it's got to be a trade. It's got to be a trade. We're going to find out any minute now or something. I mean, that's the only explanation I could think of. The only way out of this is either a shocking cut that's really, really surprising, or there's going to be some kind of trade where we unload more players than we get. That's the only thing I could see happening.
Thank you. Thanks for covering.
But I mean,
Right.
what do you
Did
think?
anything come in?
I'm perplexed. I mean, do you think there's going to be a trade? I don't like where we trade.
I think there's got to be. You're not keeping 7 wide receivers. I think it's just posturing to hold to the last minute, whether it's a last second cut or you're waiting to see who you get an offer for. Hey, Johnny, thanks for joining, buddy. Well, shocking cut was my boy. That's why. He's raw. He's very athletic. He's raw. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised we drafted a tight end. I keep saying that I think the Jets somewhat, they won't say it publicly, have somewhat of buyer's remorse for signing Uzoma and Conklin both last year. That's about an hour and a half, Orlando, Tampa.
Yeah, that's why I thought I thought Orlando would be in trouble. Like not like big trouble where they get hit with ocean, but I thought that they'd still get a very bad storm.
Yeah. Sorry, we have a
we're talking to Tigo. We're just checking out Tigo. He lives in Orlando, and we know that there's a hurricane hitting the west part of Florida. But apparently, I guess it slows down fast once it hits. So
Amos, no. I think Amos is locked with Adams being young. And
I can't believe Johnny bought a Kuntz jersey. It's amazing. It's amazing. Look, there's a very good chance he makes the practice squad. You see him next year.
Yeah.
Because we're not keeping both veterans. At the end of this year, Conklin or Ozum, like one of them is gone. Oh. Ruckert becomes in the top 2, so it's Ruckert and probably Conklin. And then you have room for like Yeboah maybe or Kuntz, we'll see what happens. If we draft a big name tight end in the first 3 rounds or something, or do anything like that, then he's in really big trouble even for next year.
Yeah. So Zach Rosenblatt tweets, Dalvin Cook said he did everything in practice today. He's good to go. So Now it's just, 12 more days, tune up, get in game shape, right?
Yeah, and the truth is when you have Breece Hall and you're a 2-back committee, a 3-back committee, you got Michael Carter, he doesn't need as long of a camp to get in shape. He doesn't have to be in the best football shape of his life in the first couple of weeks. I mean, we could easily get I could imagine a scenario where he gets 5 to 10 touches, and then Breece Hall gets 5 to 10 touches, and Michael Carter gets 5 to 10 touches. I can imagine that kind of balance in the first game.
Give me 40 seconds. Mekhi Becton was at the mic. It's audio. Here, I'll just play it.
Yeah.
Zach Rosenblatt asking Mekhi Becton on being the name the Jets starter.
I'm playing for now, fun. Ready to go do some work. I like your attitude.
Hey, Coach, how did it feel to have Saleh come out after the game and say you're the starting right tackle?
It was pretty cool. It was a great moment for sure for me, for all the work that I put in over these past 2 years. So it was definitely great.
How do you know you're ready for 60 snaps, 70 snaps, whatever a regular season game might be after, in the preseason you'll go more than 25, 30?
I mean, I've been putting in all this work. I feel like I have no choice but to be ready. Even if I didn't do a full game in the preseason, I feel like I'm still ready. So we'll see.
It's so weird that they keep bugging him on that because he wanted to stay in both times. He was the one that was pulled out, and nobody's asking the other offensive linemen who nobody played 60 to 70 snaps. Like what offensive lineman except for Tittman? I mean, Tittman played a lot, but like which of the other guys played that many snaps? Like it's not like the game where he only played 7 snaps and came out. Like he played as much as they asked him to play. It doesn't make sense to be badgering him with those kind of questions, really, in my opinion, because The other guys didn't have to play that many snaps. Why aren't they more worried about Dwayne Brown? He's 39 years old and he just started practicing last week.
Yeah, but
No,
Dwayne Brown hasn't had back-to-back season-ending knee injuries. One in training camp, one in the first game. If he did, he wouldn't be in the league right now. He would have retired. He gutted through a shoulder injury, so he's got the gamer label on him, right?
And I'm not questioning it. I'm just making a point. I'm making.
I got you. I'm just explaining the counter. Hey, point counterpoint. Counterpoint.
I'm just saying that Becton is just as ready as Dwayne Brown because he's been in the entire camp. He's in the best shape of his life. He's fitter than he's ever been. And he was fine. He was dominant in every snap, even his 30th snap. Like he was still going strong. It wasn't like he was tiring. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm not worried about Becton. I'm not worried about Becton. The only thing I'm worried about with Becton is he gets hurt again, which is not his fault. Things we can't control, things he can't control. Yeah. I'm scared as shit that he's going to get hurt again. But obviously, we're traumatized. It happened 2 years in a row. But like, if he
PTSD, right? Post-traumatic jets disorder.
Yeah. But if he stays healthy, are you worried about him at right tackle? He's freaking dominant.
I'm very, very excited to watch stretch runs with Vera Tucker and Becton on that side, with potentially Ruckert as a tight end or CJ down blocking, and either Becton and Vera Tucker kicking out and being lead blockers.
And don't forget Lazard.
I love this. I love this right here.
Natural animal.
Samini tweets, Mekhi Becton says, I had to put my ego aside in switching to right tackle. He's a natural left tackle, but says he wants to do what's best for the team. His repaired right knee also is strong enough now to withstand the stress of being on the right side. Aaron Rodgers effect. Did I call it? After the Carolina game, we all saw it. Hey, big guy, I love you. Let's have lunch Tuesday.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
They have lunch on Tuesday. Wednesday, Mekhi Becton at practice says, or Salah says, Mekhi's going to start taking reps at right tackle.
Yeah.
The Aaron Rodgers effect. Aaron Rodgers goes to him and says, I'm summarizing it. We don't know these quotes. This has been my take since I saw that moment. Hey, big guy. Dwayne Brown's big vet. He's been there a long time. Maybe next year you move to left tackle if they bring you back. Right now, we're at our best with you and Dwayne both on the line together. Get your big ass on the right side, dominate, protect me, and let's go win a goddamn ring together. The next day, I'll play right tackle. It's the Aaron Rodgers effect. Zach Wilson was quarterback. I'm a left tackle. Aaron Rodgers is quarterback. Yeah, I'll play over there. I got you. You're not telling a Hall of Fame quarterback. And I'm going to say this. I know we haven't gotten too much into the Aaron Rodgers. All the other channels, have gone heavy with the Aaron Rodgers talk. We mentioned him, but we haven't really delved into it here. Aaron Rodgers has been a Hall of Fame person with the New York Jets. And the way the team takes to him, that could be as valuable as what he does on the field, is how the team responds to him and how the team is taken to him and how the team respects him and how the team will do anything for him. That goes a long way. When you have a leader, you don't want to disappoint, right? Why do a lot of relationships fail? Because you get to the point where you don't give a shit what the other person thinks, right? You just get to the point where it's like, okay, this has run its course. I don't care. We're in the honeymoon phase, and we're doing everything the right way. All the players are doing everything the right way. Everyone. No one wants to tick off Rodgers. Randall Cobb threw out the warning to the receivers, right? Okay. Ian Rappaport.
Jonathan Taylor.
Ian Rappaport. The Colts will keep running back Jonathan Taylor on the PUP list, an indication that no trade is imminent.
Oh, shit. I better delete my tweet guaranteeing that he's about to become a Dolphin. Oh my god, I gotta protect my reputation here. Oh wait, am I talking live? Okay.
No one listens to you. We're good, right? No one's listening to them. Everyone, pretend that Jeremy didn't speak. Just do what you normally do, in one ear and out the other.
Wow.
Okay. Ian Rappaport also adds, I know we're a Jets show, but Jonathan Taylor's big enough where we could discuss that news. There was significant interest from two teams. In the end, GM Chris Ballard did not feel it was enough, and thus no trade.
The Titans just traded for kicker Nick Folk for the Patriots.
That was earlier. And when Schefter tweeted it, I said, oh, great. There goes the Patriots offense. So how are they going to score now? Just defensive and kick returns?
Oh my God, all the news is about to come out. It's going to come flying at us at 1,000,000 miles per hour, so get ready.
I'm ready. I got Twitter here. I got Rappaport and Schefter alerts turned on.
It's Connor Hughes that's going to keep us updated, right?
Well, yeah, nationally, I have Schefter and Rappaport tweets turned on. And then for Jets, I have Zach, I have Connor, and I have Samini. So
I got to get Rich Samini here. You better not have blocked me by now. Oh, no, he didn't block me. Okay.
Oh, you did. You deleted it already?
Hey, what'd you try to do?
When I opened up Twitter, it was your tweet. The Dolphins are about to announce a trade for JT. Just saying. I replied, great tweet, but you deleted it already. I love that I'm talking to you and still fucking with you on Twitter.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Dom C makes a good point, though. We both were hoping that they would move on. The Dolphins would give up their defensive line tackle for a running back. You know what I mean? It's almost bad news for us. I mean, it's fun to see the Dolphin fans suffer because they would have loved it and they would have went crazy and act like it was an automatic Super Bowl. But at the same time, I still stand by my take that the Dolphins are a worse team if they trade. If they would have made that trade, they're a worse team. You don't give up a defensive stud. You just don't do it.
I mean, he's off the roster. So as of right now,
something has to come out. We have to be something. I mean, somebody has to go. It can't be. We can't keep 54, 55 guys. 2 guys at least have to get cut.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's pending, right? We're playing the waiting game right now. We know there's an announcement. I'm just sorry, guys. I'm sorry that we kind of paused here. 403 hits. News has to be into the league by now, which means that
it's just coming in probably so fast because they're probably looking over the lists.
Yeah,
of who the roster is, right?
All right. You watch Twitter. Let me get back to the chat and catch up with these great gentlemen and if there's any ladies watching us. When his Florida Panhandle.
I'll keep my eye open.
I live in Southeast Florida. We just have some wind and cloud cover. All right. Good luck to everybody down in Florida. I know I like to bust Tico's balls, and he gives it back to me just as much, but good luck to everybody down there. My good friend Pedro is in Spring Hill, which is about 40 minutes north of Tampa. I got to reach out to him in a little bit when we're done here. We won't have 60 snaps a game airs. We'll give us some quick trips down the field. There will be games, but not every game. Yeah, I mean, there'll be games with more. There'll be games with less. There'll be games right there. Each game is its own entity. So we got to be ready for everything. There'll be some games where we got to put up 35 to win. There'll be games we might only have to put up 11 to win. Not that it's a plausible number in most games, but we might only give up 10.
Dude, the Colts are like the dumbest organization. They let that deal go because they were demanding a first-round pick. Now, if Miami was
Why
about
not?
to give you a stud tackle like that and a second-round pick, you don't do it when you have an unhappy running back and no one else is offering you a first-round pick? That is so stupid. They're never going to get better offer than that.
Diana Rossini, new to the Athletic. Colts have had conversations with the Dolphins about a trade for Jonathan Taylor. While Indy was shooting for a first-round pick, I was told it was never offered by any team. I will admit, we don't know the other team. We know the Dolphins were in, obviously. I am shocked, and it could very well be the other team. I'm shocked the Bears didn't go in. Justin Fields and Jonathan Taylor running that RPO together in the backfield would have been very impressive.
Yeah.
And it opens up the passing game for DJ Moore, tight end Cole Kmet. You got Claypool, Mooney. You got some nice weapons. You bring in someone like Jonathan Taylor, that changes the whole dynamic. Now, imagine running the RPO and you got Taylor coming this way or Fields keeping it and going that way. You could have put yourselves atop of that division quicker than a lot of people expected. You could add a 1-year turnaround from worst to first.
Yeah. You know, it's one thing to accidentally shoot yourself, right? But for this Colts owner, it's another thing to point the gun at your foot and pull the trigger. This Colts owner, Isray, is awful. He is our nightmare when the Johnsons were involved, like early on in their ownership. This is the last thing you want as an organization is to have owners try to run a team. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
He's destroyed that organization.
I just want to ask Johnny a serious question here. Johnny, I hope you're still here. Are you feeling okay? Because your final sentence, we shall run the NFL. You just put us down as the AFC East. I know your point. I'm teasing. I'm busting. We will run the NFL.
Don't ever make me think my boy Johnny is sick or anything is wrong, please. That's my buddy. That's my brother.
Hey, Yeti. Thanks for joining us.
I love him. One day, me and Johnny are going to go to a freaking Wawa together, and we're going to get cheesesteak and hoagies. Ain't that right, Johnny?
That sounded too good to be true. If you're the Dolphins, why? I mean, I know you've had some negotiations issues with Wilkins, but to trade him for an injured running back?
Well, now he's on the PUP list. There's no way they're trading for him right now. It would make no sense. They couldn't get a deal done.
Screw the Fins.
He says, you know it. Yeah, we're going to go to Wawa, baby.
Johnny, this is why I don't do jerseys, man. There's too many moving parts. I don't own a jersey. My friend Pedro, I mentioned earlier, we coached our sons together up here, and then when the family was packing up, they moved down to Florida. He called me over the house before he left, and he gave me a Jet jacket and an old Joe Namath jersey. He's a Raider fan, but he's like, here. He goes, I'm never going to wear these. I might as well give them to you. So that's the only jersey I have, and I don't wear jerseys for games. I don't do anything jersey-wise. It's a jinx. It's all good news. News. I appreciate it. Keep us updated. Thanks, Hank. Yeah, we try. It's a fluid situation. It's 4:00 on cut down day. Jeremy's obviously on DoorDash getting ready to order a meal. That's why he's looking down at his phone right now. Cards up there too. Oh, the Cardinals might be an all-time horrible team. They showed their starters. Like, poor Zach Ertz. You went there with DeAndre Hopkins. You went there when they traded for Hollywood Brown. You had Connor. You had who was their coach? The guy that we had at quarterback for a bit. The young, handsome dude. He had the draft, the COVID draft with the fire going. Somebody help me.
Jonathan Marshall has been released by the Steelers. Jonathan Marshall, they love him. Salah loves him.
Yeah. What am I saying? That's embarrassing. Oops. Where are we? I have to show you guys this email. What's the email so you can get a good laugh? Hit me N Shine. N as in Nick. Shine SHINE 78 @gmail.com. Yeti, who had any interest? Fans? I didn't. I don't think they're. He was a one-trick pony. He was a speedster. He cost us games not being able to hold on to the ball with his spaghetti arms. I have no interest. I would be shocked if the Jets had any interest in bringing him back.
We can't bring Jonathan Marshall back because there's no room on the roster, but we can oh no, we can't even put him on the practice squad. To pick up a guy that's going through waivers, you have to give them a 53-man spot. Otherwise, you're not allowed to take him.
Whoa, the Patriots waived Bailey Zappi, who a lot of us thought
No way. Holy cow. He's really good. Why would they do that? I can't believe they did that. I would love to freaking get him as another backup.
I just texted the group. There's our third.
He's really good. Why would they cut him? That makes no sense.
I thought he looked. I thought he looked pretty good last year when I saw.
I thought he was as good as Mac Jones.
Hey, Nabi. Nabi, welcome. Thanks for joining. We're working on it. Jonathan Taylor stays put. Robbie Anderson cut. Bailey Zappi, who a lot of us thought could compete with Mac Jones and maybe take his job when Mac sucks again.
So that's weird, man. Something's up with that. Why would they do? He must be.
Oh, did you, Hank? You did? I trust your word, Hank. He said Zappi stunk in the preseason.
I don't care. Look what he did last year. That's in him. That's somewhere in him. What he did last year is in him. He played.
You're a fucking dick. You're a fucking dick.
I mean, that is in him. He played those games. You can't take that away. I don't care if he had a bad camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you cut a quarterback who's proven like he was doing it, man? I was terrified. I thought that he was going to be their new Brady with the way he came in. I was like, oh no, they're going to do it again. They're going to crush us again with a backup. Nobody is going to become great. Like, I was like petrified that that's what was happening for them. I want to grab the kid. I don't care, man. I'd find a way to get that kid on our roster. He might be. I think he's better than Zach Wilson. He played better last year for the Patriots than Zach Wilson ever played for us.
I'll go back to this. Hey, thank you for joining. If you're new, please subscribe. Also, subscribe to Jeremy's channel, Jets Lounge, plural. We do a show on there together on Wednesday nights.
Thank you.
And and please subscribe here.
Considering I just called you an asshole on Twitter, I'm surprised you're trying to help.
The nicest thing you've ever said about me. That means you're warming up to me, you prick. I know most of you know this. We have a Twitter DM chat. Jeremy and I, Adam, Dom C, Tigo, Gunny, and New York Jets situation report, and Buffalo Jet fan. And if you read the shit that Jeremy and I, unprovoked, just send about one another, you would think that we hated each other more. Like we were like, you think that we were Israel and Palestine. I'm obviously Israel in this analogy. And but the things that for unprovoked, like pull some of them up today if you can. Like some of the jabs that we've thrown at each other just from today.
Okay, well, I could go back.
He said something to me, and I was like, and I did talk to text, and I wish talk to text sent the voice note, and you could hear that, like my voice. I was like, shut the fuck up, you overeating human sloth.
Wait 1 second. He also shared a picture of his toe.
Get that down. Get that down. What are you doing? That's for private chat.
You showed me sucking off a spoon.
in the private chat. I didn't put it on here. I apologize for that, people. That's obviously not a toe. That was Patrick Starfish from SpongeBob. I apologize for that, everybody. That's not what we do here. You
There's only a
cross the
small
line. You're a habitual line stepper. Patriots are idiot. Yeah, Rusty, we mentioned you earlier in the show, pal. And we felt your pain. You know, I give you all the credit in the world. It was the last December or January, and we did a show, and you told us flat out, Trey Dean, safety, Florida, go watch him. You'll love him. And, excuse me, I always get a hiccup on here. It's weird. And we did. And we're hoping that my thought process is that the Jets let Bam Knight and Trey Dean go first so they clear waivers quicker and then can be put right on the practice squad and protected.
Okay, I found one of my early morning attacks. So Tigo goes, not every injury needs an injury designation for long-term effects. Sometimes a guy is just hurt for a little bit, laughing out loud at me. And I said, it's about keeping more players, dickless. And then he says, yes, at the expense of losing players for extended periods of time, ass face. And I say,
wait, that was you and Tigo.
Yeah.
That's you and Tigo.
It could be pupless for 4 weeks, asshole. And then you say Jeremy has been so abused anally, he has a weak asshole. And I write back to you like your mother. Tigo says temporarily.
And then I replied, my mother's meatloaf is better than your mother's meatloaf. And we're friends, folks, believe it or not. Hey, Dave, thanks for joining, buddy.
And Nick, when Tigo says temporarily shiny heads still can't carry more than 53 guys, Nick says, Tigo, please never use my last name as an adjective to describe this jerk off. and I say to Tigo, so week 5 might be a different story, tiny ass man. To Tigo, I called him a tiny ass man. And then you said, you're mad, Jeremy, because my mother's meatloaf is better than your mother's. And then Tigo says, yeah, but what about weeks 1 to 4, micro penis?
Go ahead. Give my rebuttal to that.
You write, what did I do? Because you naturally assumed when micro penis was mentioned, they were talking to you.
I did. And then I said, I let Jeremy touch it one time, and he tells Tigo about it.
One second.
Patriots, Tigo, look up better, smart Hector. So right now, it's like the kind of the calm before the storm. Everything had to be turned into the league. You had to be down to 53 by 4 o'clock. So paperwork's getting processed, and then everything will leak out. You know, usually by 4:30 or so, you'll start to see. We'll know exactly what our moves were as a team.
And then when Dom C says I'm correct, there are a limited number of short-term IR designations that each team has. I write to Tigo, see, you hurricane casualty. I'm an asshole.
Yes. Our good friend, the Buffalo Jet fan, has a tweet that says, good day for the Jets. Lawson and Cook healthy. First team O-line together. Patriots cut their best QB, Zappy, and playmaker Folk. Finns fans have to get JT neck tattoos covered up. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Somebody really has to tell me how.
So, Dave, hold on. Let me get this real quick. Dave, we were at 55 by our count. There, Jeremy, cover the roster maneuver. While I'm catching up with the chat, cover the roster maneuver that they can do with Bawden where he's protected.
Okay, so
and that's one of the spots we think are going to open up.
There's a way to move Bawden to release him and then put him on the practice squad or release him and pick him back up again without him being exposed because of some veteran status with veterans. So I don't understand it, or man, like it's all these different crazy rules. But the point is that we could temporarily remove Budden and we could hold on 53 and still have Budden protected, and then make some kind of move. I don't know, move someone to the practice squad, move somebody onto the IR, like the shorter term IR. That we don't want to lose for the whole season, but we could put on IR for like a few weeks because they won't be ready for the start of the year, and then we could pick Budden back up. And an example of that would be like a Carter Warren, right? We'd be able to, after tomorrow, we could put Carter Warren on the IR for like 4 weeks, have Budden on the team, and then 4 weeks later, make a decision. And you have to assume within 4 weeks, there might be another guy that's on the IR, because what NFL team plays 4 football games and doesn't have at least one injured guy?
Yeah. If I'm a betting man, which I am, I think either Brownlee or Charles get moved, and then you have the roster positioning with Borden and the Warren move, and that gets us to our 53. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I mean,
did Sherrod was Sherrod at practice today?
Yeah, he was.
So
He
5 linebackers?
That's what they're saying, maybe. Yeah. Somebody has to
So
go. Two people have to go. There's going to be a trade, or 2 people have to go. I don't care if.
All right, we're down to 1. One person has to go now.
No, but like people are telling me, oh, but they said on Twitter, it can't be. You're not allowed to have 55 guys. Somebody got to get cut. Herb Charles, Bradley. I mean, like one of them has to get cut. It has to happen. So there's 2 players that are going to be cut, other than making that Baldwin move. Yeah, Buffalo says he's better than Boyle. Zapp, we know that. But the problem with it is we cannot pick up Bailey Zapp unless we're prepared to pick him up onto the 53. You can't poach a guy. You can't take a guy off waivers to the practice squad. You can't do that. You literally have to make them part of your 53. So if we even had a thought of going after Bailey Zapp, we would have to cut somebody to make room on the 53 to get him. So that's the problem. Does he clear waivers? It's hard to imagine. I think it's stupid. There are too many teams. Why would Arizona let him go through waivers? Bailey Zapp, in my opinion, is better than anybody than they have on their roster right now. A quarterback that's not injured. That's not named Kyle Murray. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Bailey Zapp played well. I watched. He played well.
All right. You know what, Gibson, I'm not putting him on this level. Let me say this clearly. But we love doing these comparisons, right?
Yeah.
He's very shifty. He can accelerate quickly. Punt returner. I'm seeing shades of a Santana Moss. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as a wide receiver, but with his limited production and his limited touches, he's exciting. He's exciting on the punt return. He's exciting with the ball in his hands. It gives me shades of Santana Moss. You could throw a little bubble, throw a blocker or 2 out there, and he can be shifty and speedy and get through it. And this league is all about making the first guy miss, which is why I will not miss Corey Davis. I would rather have speedier, shiftier guys get the ball in their hands and let them create.
They said another thing to say, and I'm not saying he's going to be this good.
Thank you, Dom.
But he could have. I'm not going to say the ceiling will be that high, but he could have a similar type story that he could have a similar story to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was a 4th round draft pick who started off a special teams gadget guy.
He was released, Dave. He was released. Go ahead.
So I'm not saying he's going to be Tyreek Hill, obviously, but he could be a smaller version of that. He could be a similar story. He could be a guy that makes the team because of punt returns and showing some flashy ability with short passes, and but then in the next couple of years, he could develop into a real receiver. He has tons of athleticism, so there's no reason to give this kid a ceiling.
Let me do this.
He's only 22. He's a rookie. We don't know how
I wanted
good
to take a picture of the recipe Yeti just put up, but I put my hand up to block your face, so I don't have your face in a photo.
Okay, I made a 2 pounds of beef, 2 eggs, paprika, garlic. It's very similar. Worcestershire sauce. Ritz crackers. Okay, yeah, Ritz crackers is a good idea. Add ketchup, Worcester ranch, and
When I had my 2 surgeries, my mother made me I bought some chicken breast. I was like, Mom, can you make me something? I'm like, this way I can throw it in the fridge or the freezer. And then chicken breast. It was a soup packet. It was sour cream. It was Ritz crackers, some seasoning, and baked. And Ritz crackers baked. Holy shit, phenomenal.
Oh, dude, my mother has a dish where we grind down Ritz crackers, mix it with egg, minced grated carrots and onion, and you make like a stuffing and then bake it. It's fantastic. So good.
I love Gunny. Gunny was saying before that his brother's a cop in Tampa or the Tampa area. And he just texted, my brother is in shambles. His brother's a Dolphin fan. And he says, my brother is in shambles. I love it. I love what rivalries can do to families. My mom's a Dolphin fan. She's not up to it like we are, but I need good line release so we can have pipeline. Rusty, nobody worth going nuts over. And we have, Tigo, Dom, Buffalo, Adam, Jeremy, myself, Gunny. Amongst the 7 of us, we get every tweet out there instantaneously in our group. So if there was a name worth knowing, we would have it by now. We've had probably 100-something comments in the chat since we've been on the air, and we're monitoring collectively, all of us. Shout out to all those guys. Dom, if you're still here. Dom, if you're available, let me know. I know you said today was going to be a very unproductive day at work. If you want to hop on, Dom, if you're still in the chat, feel free, man. He is wide receiver, fine return man. He is not a starter. No, but nowadays, in this day and era in the NFL, Dave, everybody gets opportunities. If you're a wide receiver 5 or 6, you're going to get some plays. Guys need breathers. There's Garrett Wilson's the man. Garrett Wilson's going to have 160 targets this year, in my opinion, maybe more. He's probably going to get 10 targets a game. I wouldn't be surprised if he's up near 170.
I hope Xavier Gibson gets no targets because that'll mean that we were very healthy all year and we give him a full year to develop. And he's there right now as a punt return man. And I mean, that's fine with me. He's going to get reps only, I think he'll get some reps anyway, especially you don't think we're ever going to be up by 3 touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers and our defense. You don't think there's ever going to be a 4th quarter burn time.
I got to hop out for a minute.
Where they're going to give younger players a chance to play. I mean, come on. Even if he doesn't get, if they don't trust him yet for tie games or close games, I mean, there are going to be games where we're crushing the other team or we're losing to the other team. I don't know. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. But the point is if we're up by 17 points in the 4th quarter, you don't think there's a chance that we're going to bring him in and say, let's just sit Garrett Wilson and Lazard down and not risk injury to those guys? So let's bring in and give our other receivers. We'll bring in Randall Cobb. We'll bring in Xavier Gibson. I mean, those things will happen if he's the WR5 or even the WR6. We saw it we saw it 2 years ago. We were playing Tariq Black. I mean, and that was in the worst case scenario when we were losing. But it's the same thing in reverse when you're winning. You bring in other guys on your roster and you give them reps and you give them experience when you're up and you got the game in control.
Yeah, thank you for covering. Oh, what was this? Let's close you. I said, I'm sorry you made the team. Is that real? Zach, I didn't see that anywhere. Is that really happened? Huh?
It's hard to imagine that that's the way they would do it. That's kind of cruel.
Yeah, and Jets fans are preconditioned to believe that we're going to live on the waiver wire picking people up because for years we've had such shitty rosters and poor drafting. Those days are over. We are a competently run football organization now. We're the team that gets scooped up from. We don't do much scooping anymore. And that's a compliment to Joe, Rex, and the rest of the front office with how good they're doing. Tigo got a Tories. Adam would have got a Corey Davis tattoo. Adam was the most furious about my takes with not batting an eye when Davis got cut or stepped away from the game. But Gibson impressed me. 5'10", 170 on Jeff Dwyer. Sounds familiar. Retiree already. Yeah. I see similarities to Santana Moss. I know Santana Moss was a first-round draft pick. Gibson's undrafted. But the shiftiness, all of that is very similar to me. Listen, there's nothing wrong with having a player to a game where you bring what, the shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ron Middleton with the quote from the Senior Bowl where he goes, everybody wants to go to heaven, but ain't nobody want to die.
I just think it's great that he's wearing that shirt. They love him. I love this team. I love how much they love each other.
The coaching staff too, right? It's a lot of lovable people. It's good human beings. Something that we had an issue with for a while, right? We had to worry about guys like Damian Robinson, former Bucs safety, showing up at the stadium with guns in his trunk after 9/11. Thank you. Here's for the New York Jets. That is certainly looking like the case. Here's a little minute clip from Connor Hughes, SNY.
Well, they say the best teams are usually the healthiest teams, and for the New York Jets, that is certainly looking like the case. As practice began for the week before the week they played the Buffalo Bills, they've got just about everyone back on the field. Wes Schweitzer and Kenny Yeboah, those are the only two players who did not practice for the New York Jets. That means Alan Lazard, he's out there. Dwayne Brown, he is out there. Carl Lawson, Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall, everybody is practicing for the New York Jets. You know, a couple years ago when Robert Saleh took over, the Jets rededicated themselves to sports science. They were tired of the soft tissue issues. They were tired of the ACLs. They wanted to find out and identify why they were having those problems and then work to eliminate them. We're in year 3 of the Robert Saleh regime, and that certainly looks like all of that hard work and effort that they put into eliminating those problems, they certainly have. Now, again, the Jets have to stay healthy. They really didn't have that strenuous of a training camp. The starters didn't play that much in the preseason, so there isn't that much wear and tear on their bodies. But at least as they prepare for the season opener, they're looking awful good in the health department.
And the way we start the season, you can't say enough how important it is to start this season healthy. Get through these 6 games at 4-2 and hit the bye week and go on a 10-1 run to end the season.
Very good chance of a 13-4 record. If we're 4-2,
that's my call.
Very good chance.
Go 9-2 down the stretch. Stop it. You just have to close that many games. I just don't see minute to blowouts. Most games are won by 1 score. All right, dude. It's good takes. As long as we're winning them. I don't want to lose the games by 1 score anymore. I'm tired of giving the team the ball with 5 minutes left the last couple of years. The Tampa Bay game comes to mind with Brady. I would much rather be – I don't care if we win by 1. I don't care if we win a field goal in overtime. Just get the W. Let's get the W, go on to the next week,
Pick up the W.
and improve. I mean, Bam Knight wasn't a surprise. I would think Dean. I would say Kuntz, the tight end, is a bit of a surprise when we drafted him, but I'll say it's not that much of a surprise with how good. Ruckert looks very good. Ruckert looks like he's ready to take a leap and in 3rd year become the man. So I think you'll see CJ in his last season here. I think they'll look to get tight end as a position next year where we can get a lot cheaper at.
Dave, the dude, I didn't say that we're going to be up by 3 touchdowns on the regular.
Reporters.
I mean, why do people lie and make things up? I said that there are going to be games where we have a big lead, and that's when you see wide receiver 5s and wide receiver 6 get an opportunity to have reps. That's all I said. I didn't say we're going to be up by 3 touchdowns every week. I said there'll be opportunities for him. Now he's saying you did. No, I didn't. I said there would be times that we would be up a lot because we have Aaron Rodgers and a great defense. If you don't believe that, maybe you're not a real Jet fan. If you don't believe that we got the team that
No, you can't say that. Don't. No,
I mean, well, he's
I wouldn't
negative.
say that.
Well, he's a negative Jet fan.
It's not negative to say that we're up by a score. He's saying we're up. He's not saying we're losing games. I don't think it's being negative.
Share with the chat that I said what I didn't say. So let's count how many times we're up big in a game. You think you think we have this team and we're not gonna ever be up big in a game? Really? That's not feeling very confident about your team.
The league is very competitive, though. I could see Dave's take and your take. I could see both takes, and I could argue both.
Right, so we might never have a big
lead.
Play
nice. Play nice.
Well, I guess if we never have a big lead, then we never have a chance to see Gibson play. Oh, well.
Reason why I said Jeremy should win a few touchdowns on the regular. Flat out said it.
It's not the same team that we've been in the past.
Been the Bears, cut Tyson.
No,
hey, John. Thanks for popping in, John. All right, everyone deep breath. Decaf. Let's reset. Yeah, Twister, good point. We're not used to having nice things, so going from being 7-10 to thinking we're going to be dominating teams I think there would be a good portion of people who are with Dave on that. It's okay. It's all takes, right? Everyone's got different takes on what this team will be. Some people believe Aaron Rodgers was done last year, not factoring in that he lost Devontae Adams and that he was injured.
And that he was still better than any quarterback, even last year's numbers, than we've had in 20 years. or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
and that was our biggest weakness last year. I mean, it was the number one thing that we needed was to just have a competent quarterback.
Yeah.
And even his numbers last year would have made us a serious threat to every team.
Well, if I'm Gibson and I'm starting off as a special teamer, do you know what I'm doing every single damn day? I am Randall Cobb. I almost said Ty Cobb. I'm Randall Cobb's shadow. I'm with Randall Cobb. Teach me how to play the slot in the NFL. Teach me all your tricks. Teach me what Aaron Rodgers likes, what he doesn't like. What does he expect from me? Gibson's quicker than Cobb, but Cobb is a good veteran. Become his shadow and then evolve. And then year 2 or 3, you become a slot receiver and contribute. You guys got to remember, not everyone hits the league like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. Not everybody hits the league like Sauce Gardner. Not everybody is the top guy at their position or in the top 5 at quarterback from day one. Some guys evolve. Some guys take time. Why can't Gibson be that guy?
If he's the punt returner, he's going to play every week, right?
He'll be on the roster, yeah.
No, I'm saying if he's
every receiver is going to get some snaps. Whether it's 2 plays or 8 plays, he'll get snaps.
If he's our number 1 punt returner, if he's the starting punt returner, he's going to play every week. Then, barring
he'll probably be back on kickoffs too with Hardman, in my opinion, right?
I don't know if they used him that way. I'm just saying if he's the punt returner, then he's going to play every week because punt returning is playing. That's all I'm saying. But do I believe there are going to be games where we get a big lead and have the game kind of put away by the middle of the third quarter? Yeah. I don't know how many, but I believe there are going to be games where it all comes together for us. We'll get some turnovers. We'll get a big lead. I believe we'll have those kind of games. We put a 40-burger in Miami and blew them out with Zach Wilson as our quarterback. I believe with Aaron Rodgers, there are going to be some weeks that we have those kind of nice, easy weeks. Yes.
I mean, and listen, we all root for the same team. We all have different visions for the team. It's okay. Just all I ever ask is that everybody just don't go at people. Just go at your quote, right? Your rule on your channel. Don't challenge the person, challenge the take. And that goes for everybody. Just reiterate that. I'm not singling out anyone or saying anyone did anything wrong. I mean, Johnny right here is out of his goddamn mind because now, Johnny, we have to have the debate. Do we go for the undefeated season in week 18 or do we rest the starters for the playoffs? See what you started, Johnny? Now me and you got to freaking fight. You go for it because it's in New England. Oh, you don't let those sons of bitches ruin that.
I still can't get over the fact that Bailey Zapp was cut.
I'm shocked about Zappy. I really am.
I just can't believe it.
If anyone else could help me with this, who are the other who are the other quarterback options now that Zappi's gone in New England?
I would have believed it if you told me he won the starting job over Mac Jones. I would have believed it. I thought he was going to last year. I thought he was going to win the starting job last year during the season. I thought he was going to end up their starter.
I got to say before you guys cut off, the Cobb side block pissed me off. He was in front. Yes and no. I mean, you even heard Rodgers say it on Hard Knocks. What did you think? It's 2014. They don't want you doing that. They don't want. I believe the Giant player was in the concussion protocol after the hit, and that's why they don't want it. They want you, and I taught the kids this in Pop Warner. Get in front of the guy and put your hands up. Just impede his running. If he's behind the guy, impede his running. If you watched Zach Wilson's run when he spins out, and then when he gets to the sideline, I think it was offensive lineman number 62 or 52. He's running towards the Jets sideline, sees somebody coming, and just gets in front of him and puts his hands up. Textbook how you do it. Could he have leveled him? Could he have turned around and planted into him? Yes. But why take the chance of the penalty? It's you don't want to cost us a drive on a 40-yard play because you took a shot at somebody that didn't matter.
Well, you just got to know the rules. It's the same thing. There was a time in football where there's no way that Jermaine Johnson call gets called because he barely, he touched him. He didn't tackle him. And back in the day, they would hit even. So the rules have changed. Like Jermaine needs to be told, no, you can't even touch him. You can't put a pinky on him. When he goes out of bounds, when he's stepping out of bounds, you got to do everything you can to avoid touching the quarterback. And it's the same thing with that block. It's like it's not a vicious block. It's in the sense that it's not dirty and intended to cause an injury. But at the same time, they changed the rule, and you have to know the rule.
Okay. He was lost his marbles. Haha. Johnny never had his marbles. No, I'm busting Johnny. Even Streeter Taylor didn't get traded. Yeah, Kuka, that was good. Molly Cunningham. So what we got? We got any new Twitter news? We got a couple tweets here. Let's see. Two, three, four, six. The Giants named 9 players as their captains.
Yeah, I saw that. Isn't that crazy? It's a lot of captains.
All right, there we go. Little Jet conversation.
Andrew Thomas.
Offensive captains for us. Rodgers.
No, they're not going to name Aaron Rodgers a captain. You got to be
Zach is a 2-time captain. Rodgers already took his job. Does he have to take the C off his chest too?
Rodgers is not in the right position. You don't make a quarterback a captain of the team.
No. He's really got to hone his leadership skills. We haven't seen enough from him yet this offseason. Maybe someday. He sticks with it for 3-4 years. Maybe he'll learn it.
Well, how many captains do we usually have?
Sometimes they do 2. Other times they do more. You got to remember, now we got a better team. We have a veteran team. It's the players who vote. Dave, Dave, you took my take, Dave. You took my take. I said it a couple weeks ago. Have we ever seen an RB3 be a captain? Michael Carter is a leader. Michael Carter is a glue to this team. Have we ever seen the third running back who might only get 6 to 8 touches a game be a captain?
And people had him being cut. People were like thinking we were going to cut him. Of course, yeah. I mean he might be he could be a good candidate, and it would be his last
year. Last year was Corey Davis, Tomlinson, and Zach, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you got to have a guy on the line, in my opinion. The lines are the big guys. I mean, if Tomlinson got it last year, it means he's got the respect of the locker room.
Could it be any
one usually speaking?
Could it be any of the second-year players? Could it be Garrett Wilson? I doubt it.
I don't see Garrett as much of a leader. Carter. All right, I'll rank them in my opinion.
He runs
Rodgers 1, lock.
Yeah.
Tomlinson, lineman, lock.
Oh, really? I'd rather have Dwayne Brown.
But Dwayne might not be that fiery guy. Tomlinson is the vocal leader. Tomlinson breaks the linemen down in the middle and gets them going. That's
Well, he better
Mike Garoppolo. The Jets cut Thomas Morstead.
What?
Thomas Morstead is the cut?
No way. Then we have no punter. Then we would have no punter.
It's probably posturing, move Bawden, bring him back. They're going to bring him back. It'll be a posture move.
What if somebody claims him?
Maybe it's that vet thing too. Maybe he's eligible for the vet thing. Bawden and Morstead released. All right, there we go. All right. Joe Douglas doing Joe Douglas things, right?
They're going to put someone on the IR and bring him back.
All right, here we go. Zach Rosenblatt says Bawden was also released, but like Morstead, he'll likely be brought back in a couple days. So as a vested veteran, Dom C just added.
Okay.
So, posturing, right? It's a numbers game, and I guess they're protected players because they're vested. So it's okay. Well, we get back to the cat. I don't think, but now we're down to 53. Those were the two to get us to 53. You move Carter Warren to.
He's not going to sign with anyone else. He wants to be a Jet. He loves the Jets. He loves the Jets. He wants to be a Jet. He absolutely would never. As long as we have an agreement with him, we're going to re-sign you right back. He loves the Jets.
Let's be real, Jar. We're not punting much.
No.
Just go for it on every fourth down because we'll be in their territory on every drive.
It's kind of. I think he's also making fun of another team because there's a team that kept 2 punters on their roster. I don't know if it was New England. Somebody kept 2 punters on their roster, and Braden Mann is one of them.
Pittsburgh.
How do you keep 2 punters on your roster?
Probably going to trade one.
It
means you're getting offers, right? Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe a guy's injured. Maybe a guy's going to be put on the IR,
Yeah. But can you imagine having that luxury to keep 2 punters on you? Obviously, they don't go as deep as we do because we could never do that.
Okay. All right. So now we're down to 53. We know the 2 moves, and now it'll be posturing. I want to thank everyone watching the stream. I'm getting close to 40. I've never hit 40. I've been at 38 as my high today that I saw. I've never hit 40. So like the stream. I appreciate all you guys taking time to watch and hang out with us today. I'm sorry that I can't find a co-host to be as handsome and charming as I am. JBC was released, not kept on the pup. That was the kid from LSU we drafted, right? So 2 draft, and you're going to see this now. Gone are the days where every Jet drafted automatically is on the team because our team sucks. You're going to see some guys who just don't make it, and we're good enough to say, all right, thank you, but goodbye. All right, back to the captains. Rodgers, yes. Tomlinson, yes. Wide receivers. I wouldn't sleep on Cobb. Veteran, respected, vocal.
Or Lazard. Lazard was very vocal yesterday on one Jets drive. They showed him being very vocal.
Yeah. He is.
But it's weird. It's weird for him to come in and right away be a captain. It's his first time he's ever had a contract, like for real money,
I'd be shocked if Garrett makes it because everything I've seen from Garrett, he's very low key. He plays loud, but he doesn't do the vocal leadership stuff yet. So I'll go Carter, Tomlinson, and Rodgers on offense. Defensively, give me Quinnen, give me CJ, and give me DJ Reed. What do you think about those 3 on D?
What?
Quinnen, CJ, and DJ Reed.
I mean,
Ross is the superstar, but I think DJ Reed is the leader, right?
Well, yeah, Sauce looks up to GJ Reed. Like he says, he's helped him a lot. Like lots of advice, lots of that kind of stuff. It's not always about your best players. You're right. It's about veterans and leadership. Obviously CJ's the obvious choice. Quinnen Williams he's got to be a captain after what I mean. He is a captain. Whether you
He
call
was
him
last year too.
right. I mean, he's got to be a captain. I mean, he's
Commanders, right?
Yeah,
You're commanders.
he's a
You're
commander.
guys who raise other people up.
Yeah, CJ Mosley, Quinnen, and if you were going to name someone else, Reed would make a lot of sense. One of the most underrated players in the NFL outside of our team. Like we know about him, as our fans know about him, but so many NFL fans, like of other teams, have no idea. Like he's so underrated.
We just got to keep doing these shows and get big enough where we replace Ian on Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
No more seeing more said running. No, GVH, he'll be back by Thursday.
Okay, Eccles to suspended list. Bernard Converse to pup.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that information changed. All right, so
Tanzel Smart cut. Travis Dye.
Hall still on the team at corner. I think Hall is the guy. Now, here's the interesting thing about Hall at cornerback. $2.7 million this year. If he is on the week 1 roster, that $2.7 million is guaranteed. I thought the Jets might try to finagle and move a little bit with that to not guarantee that 2.7 because that would open up some more money for a possible trade.
Zach Kuntz is officially cut. Grant Hermans, people thought he might make the team early in camp. He's cut. And then Tanzel Smart, as expected, unfortunately.
Thomas Morstead with a tweet 6 minutes ago. 5 letters here, just for everybody there in Jetsland. R-E-L-A-X in caps. Relax. We're going to be okay. Meaning it's just a veteran posturing move, right?
Yes.
So.
Yep. Not worried about it at all.
Play like I play in Madden. 4th and 18. Let's go for it. Let's rock, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, when I played high school basketball, I had a guard at Donald Foyle. I'm 6'1". They dropped a hand check that year. I tucked the shorts once, stole the ball, whistle blew. He dropped 40 on me. The best player I ever played against, it was AAU. We played against a team that was out of Seton Hall Prep, and Tim Thomas, who went to Villanova and got drafted, I believe was a Knick for a little while. We're playing a 1-3-1 zone. I'm in the middle of the 1-3-1, and there was a kid on the bottom of the zone, and there was an alley-oop backdoor to Tim Thomas, and my player on my team grabbed him around the waist as he went up to dunk on him, tackled him, prevented him from getting to the rim. Tim Thomas gets up and goes to punch, and I hooked Tim Thomas's arm to stop him from punching my teammate. And then I got blindsided with like a shoulder block by like a football linebacker that played on their team. And me and Tim Thomas both went to the ground together. So that was my.
Sorry, I was just trying to. Somebody's asking. People are coming in and asking. Morstead, it will be back on the team within 2 to 3 days.
Make sure that Morstead will be back. Yeah, Morstead himself just said, "Relax. It's posturing. You gotta let Carter Warren make the roster, and then move him to IR, and then you bring somebody back."
Right, or pup list. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. IR. I mean, yeah, definitely IR. So so he'll be back in.
But
Bud will be
different positions though. We need Hall because we don't have Eccles week 1.
Right. You need a
I
guy.
don't think Hall's on this team if Eccles isn't suspended, and Hall may not be on the team long term. We might move him after week 1.
We might move him, trade him. I mean, he's a good man on man. He's a good man on man. He's like for certain defenses, he's okay.
38. So close.
38 what?
37. People watching. I've never hit 40.
Oh.
40 is like my benchmark. We had 38 the one day we went on with Buffalo for the post-practice show, and then we hit 30 again today. So somebody got to have multiple apps they can open up, right? Somebody got to have something.
Hear what I just said?
I didn't.
I said, you're welcome.
Cover your mouth before a fucking chicken bone flies out of it when you laugh, you son of a bitch. $39, new high.
Come on, bitches. Don't leave. Don't leave. Wait for someone else to join. Don't leave.
Grab your kids' tablet, something. Come on, somebody help me out. One more.
Stream. Nobody leave.
Seeing Ghost. Thank you.
You hit 40?
Seeing Ghost. Just subscribe. We're at 39.
Oh my God. Let me get my phone on.
Jack me off. Thank you. Jack me off. Is that 2 subs? Are you on 2 different accounts?
No. I'm not on any. I don't have it on.
You open, Jerry. You open your YouTube and you watch it from yours, and there we go.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I don't care.
I can't find
I don't care if I got to
Where
cook
are
the
you?
books.
They
You
bury
don't even
you here,
subscribe.
man. They freaking bury
37. Damn it. 2 people left.
you. Shit. They freaking bury you on this thing. I can't even find you.
God damn it. You're so kind. Just go to subscriptions.
That's what I'm doing. Where the hell are
Click
you?
subscription.
There it is.
You
There
click
it is.
subscriptions. That's
There it
number
is.
1 in your heart, obviously. I'm staying on so you can get 40. The dog is waiting to go out. See,
Okay,
that's
I'm
commitment,
on
Dave.
now.
That's
I'm on.
commitment. Jeremy, you
Where's
apologize. Dave and Jeremy, make amends. Apologize right now, both of you. Dave is letting his dog suffer.
Me and Dave are fine. I fight with people all the time. You're way too sensitive, Nick. They're not that sensitive. They're not that sensitive in here. Like we bitch at each other all the time.
All right, you
Get used to it. You're so
curmudgeon.
afraid of offending somebody. We fight all the time.
I'm not afraid of offending
I
anyone.
love Dave. I wouldn't yell at him and bitch to him if he was someone I didn't feel comfortable doing that to. He's been around forever.
Man, Johnny, I haven't heard you cry. I haven't heard anyone cry about a console like this in a long time. Are you able to return the jersey? All this, you know what this tells me? This tells me the Robert Saleh quote: "If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping." There was 5 people watching who didn't like me and dipped out because they didn't want to see me make it.
No, we're back up to 37. We're back up to 37.
Nice.
I think that Kuntz. I'm shocked that they had a jersey for him. Like they made.
Thanks, Yeti. That's nice.
There was a manufacturer of jerseys that manufactured a Kuntz jersey. Really, a 7th round pick before camp is over? They made jersey.
Maybe he got it personalized. Maybe he got it personalized, or
Yeti, there's no super chat option yet, but it's coming real soon. As soon as we get to 1,000 subs on this channel, Nick will get there. He'll get to 1,000 subs, and
boom! Record books, baby.
Yeah.
Record books. Thank you, Dave. Let your dog pee or poop. Thank you, everybody.
If you want to super chat Nick earlier than that, you can always Venmo him money. It's Nick what is it? Nick _shine 1.
Oh, the Venmo is Nick-Shine-1.
Right. Or you could, don't forget Wednesday evenings. Me and Nick split the super chats. So if you ever want to hook them up, you hook them up on Wednesday nights. So you may have already hooked him up and don't even know it yet because he gets money. We got to do better on Wednesday nights. We need more support from people because I hate only getting to Venmo you so little money.
Here we go. Alan, welcome. Thank you. Are you shocked that JD cut 2 draft picks? No. Oh, I'm not Alan. Alon. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Forgive me. I'm getting old. And when I enlarged it on the screen here, I saw it. I'm not shocked. I addressed it, I think, right before you popped in. I want to thank you for watching. 42. Holy shit. We're going to the stratosphere. All right, now let's go 50. Call Jocelyn. Tell her to open up YouTube. So
soon.
no, we're getting at the point where our roster is deep enough and good enough where not every draft pick makes it. And that's a good sign. It's not that the draft picks failed. It's we're too good right now. We have depth. We don't have to have 8 draft picks and everybody needs to play. We need how many? 4 years ago, we were saying it. We need 5 starters out of this class. Remember those days, Jer?
Yeah.
Now Jets fans are losing their goddamn mind. 4 weeks ago, Tittman's a bust. No, he's just got to develop. He's got to evolve. He's got to learn the game. They didn't do many shotgun snaps at Wisconsin. It's not just every guy all of a sudden we need to play. We need to get out there. We need to have on the field immediately from day one. We're a good football team. We're building it the right way. There will be a process to get on the field. You are not having a given. You are not automatically 7th round pick. We need him to start. 6th round pick. Maybe he's the next Tom Brady. How about we just draft guys and see what they do? The need and the desire as a Jet fan to panic and to press and to force guys into situations where they're going to fail are done. We are a good, competent. No, Tittman wasn't released. Why are you saying that?
Way, not even close.
No.
He wasn't released.
No, I said a couple weeks ago, the people were saying he was a bust. I'm sorry if you misunderstood me. I am a Georgia fan, baby. Next man up. You're a freshman. You're All-American. You come to Georgia, sit your ass down for a year or two.
There's a good chance that Tittman will be a starter by the end of the year. It's very possible. It's very possible.
Listen, McGovern is solid. I'm not putting and this is the most important thing. Excuse me. The Jets are not putting Tittman in until Tittman is ready to play better than McGovern.
Right.
McGovern is solid. He's solid, right? It's the best word to describe him. He's what it's remember Luis Soho from the Yankees? He was a backup second, be a backup utility infielder. He's a professional hitter. You needed to do a hit and run back when baseball did hit and runs. Mm-hmm. You need someone to hit behind the runner. You brought in Luis Soho for a pinch hitter. He was a professional hitter. Connor McGovern is a professional center. He's solid. He'll do the job. He'll get the snaps there. He'll make the reads. He'll make the calls. Tittman does not have Zach Wilson behind him. He doesn't have Sam Darnold behind him. He doesn't have Josh McCown behind him. He has Aaron Rodgers behind him. They are going to play the most pro-ready center, which right now is McGovern. McGovern, when he signed his deal for the veteran minimum, was told, and I quote, "We are going to draft a center high in this draft. We're going to have you mentor him. We're going to have you mold him. You're probably going to start, but eventually the job will be his." And McGovern said, okay, I still want to be a Jet. I could probably make money elsewhere, but I accept these terms. So that's what it's going to be. And when Tittman is ready to take you don't want to bring the kid in, he fails, and you pull him out.
I don't think he'll fail. I think the reason I don't think he's going to beat McGovern out and take his job, because I think McGovern is everything you said, right? And this is a year where we're not going to play games like that. What I'm talking about is I think he's the number one guy to come in if there's an injury to any of the 3.
Say that you got very low there. Say that again. He's what?
I think he's the number one guy to come in if there's any injury to the interior offensive line. So if anyone, Lakin, AVT, knock on wood, or McGovern get hurt, have to come out for a bunch of plays, have to come out for a couple of games, I think he's the first man in because he can play, and I trust him in any position. You can move McGovern over, but based on what they did in preseason, I think that Tittman is also their backup right and left guard.
Nice, Johnny, another Georgia fan in the house. Very good. Yeah, no worries, Andrew. Andrew, a couple of weeks ago, when Tittman was third on the depth chart behind Schweitzer and McGovern, there was a small portion of Jets Twitter who likes to set their own fires every day and make things up, saying Tittman's a bust. He can't beat out Schweitzer on the depth chart. And we were saying the kid's got to learn. He's got to grow. He's got to develop. A week later, he's number 2 on the depth chart.
Right.
We didn't even play a preseason game yet, and they were calling him a bust. So,
crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I'll never forget. It was August 31st, and there were Jet fans calling.
No, July. It's not even August 31st yet.
Okay, July 31st, we had Twitter Jet fans. We had Twitter Jet fans calling him a bust on July 31st.
Twisted. I strongly disagree with this. He was ranked 14 as a center last year. That's solid. He's not elite. He's a solid center. He gets the snaps off. He makes the reads. He doesn't get bulldozed. I mean, he's not overpowering. He has some flaws in his game, but he's a solid center. He's never going to be in Pro Bowl discussions, but he's solid. And the fact that he's making $1 million and change this year makes him a very, very good asset for this team.
He's the top half of the league center.
Yeah, he's solid. It's just, I think that's a good word for alignment. Listen, if Tomlinson is solid again, he was not solid. He was soft last year. He was butter.
No,
if Tomlinson elevates the solid and Dwayne Brown is healthy and plays solid, I want 5 solid guys.
Mangold and Mawai were not solid.
That's
they
what
were
she
stars.
said. I want 5 solid guys. That's what she said. I had to say that before anybody else tagged me with it.
They were Mangold and Marvel, but they were stars. They weren't just solid. They were all pros. They were Pro Bowlers. They were great. Solid means they were solid.
Yeah,
like you're a reliable, solid NFL player. That's
you're not a liability. You're not a liability.
He's a
2 years ago, 2021 season, McGovern was a bit of a liability. I thought last year he was solid. We get that same production while he still has the spot. I think we're in a very good position. I want to thank the guys who subbed up to the channel too. I gained some subs during the stream. Thank you. I'm trying to make a push towards 500. We're at 369 right now. So thank you, everybody. Mangold, Mawai, they were Mangold and Mawai were elite. They were elite, Twisted. I can't put them solid. They were elite. They were Pro Bowl centers, and Mawai's in the Hall of Fame. Mangold should be eventually, in my opinion. They were elite. On their worst days, they were solid. Injured, they were solid. But they were elite, buddy. I don't disagree with your views very often, but here I do. Respectfully, of course. What's the best frozen pizza you remember as a kid? Elio's. As a kid, we always had Elio's. Those 3. That was the ShopRite special, baby. You got 2 boxes of those, and when I couldn't wait, I microwaved it, and I hated my life because it was either 1,000 degrees or it was spongy cardboard by the time you got to it.
Yeah, the microwave was the worst way to do it. I used to like to do it in the toaster and let it until it started burning on the edges. That was my way to do it.
I never had a toaster oven, and if I came in from sports, I had to microwave it because I needed to eat right away.
That's amazing. My favorite.
Thank you, Gladio. I appreciate it. And I love your icon. I love that logo. God, let's all collectively say a prayer to whatever God you believe in. Dear God, please allow the Johnsons to go back to these uniforms after the season. Let this be the tease this year. Let the chaos rain down. They made millions in a week with releasing these uniforms.
But my favorite frozen pizza was actually it was made by a company called Buitoni, and Buitoni had this product,
Mama Celeste's
pizza pockets from Buitoni, and they were amazing. It was like a closed, sealed little round pastry filled with the sauce and cheese. It was so good. I haven't reviewed.
Gladios, you see, I like it. Shout out to Weed the People who was here earlier. He designed this. I love this logo. So you know I'm a fan. Go ahead, Cass. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna review the Celeste Pizza for K Yeti. He's been asking forever. So Mama Celeste, I'll definitely review it.
Well, Alon, let me say this. He's 6'6". He's 300 pounds. He's agile. He's big. He's strong. Why not try him out at guard? What if something does happen? You know, what if something does happen to one of our guards? The biggest thing that Joe Douglas has done with this roster, positional flexibility. JFM plays inside and out. Clemens can play inside and out. Offensive line. You know, you got receivers who can play inside and out. You're looking at guys who can do a lot of different things. And when you're on the line, there might be a week where you want 11 defensive linemen activated and maybe only go down to 8 or 9 offensive linemen. If you have a guy like Tippmann as a backup who can play center or guard, same with McGovern. If someone goes down at guard, Tippmann slides to guard, McGovern goes to center. That's after if they change this year, which we all believe they will. You're taking one guy for 2 roster spots. You know, maybe you only dress 8 linemen 1 week. Or if we're at 10, you go down to 9. So having a guy who can play multiple spots on a line, Elijah Vera Tucker, look at his value last year. Why can't Tippmann play multiple positions? So I think it's a good thing. You want to test guys out. You don't want to throw a guy in at a game for the first time to do something. Like, you know, we always said when we were coaching and we were prepping our kids, don't try anything on Sunday. If you didn't put it in during the week, if you didn't try it at all in practice, don't even think about it on Sunday, because that's a recipe for disaster. Cup of noodles with sauce was always the way to go. That's the Hispanic in you talking. That wasn't the white boy from New Jersey meal. I've never had cup of noodles, and I don't need anything hot sauce. I've had cup of noodles now, but not as a kid. The white boy thing from Central Jersey was cans of Campbell's soup, chicken noodle Campbell's soup with some saltine crackers broken up and put in there. That's the white boy in me from Woodbridge, New Jersey. What's up, Dino? Thank you. Welcome.
And Ray J, that's a guy you never saw before that you don't know.
Ray. No, never saw him. That's Ray.
I know.
Congratulations to Ray coming out of the closet. We're proud. No, I'm busting your balls, right? I'm sorry. Woodbridge. Woodbridge.
I'm proud of you, Ray.
Ray, I'm proud of you, man. You did it, bro. You did it. You did it. I'm busting your balls, right? You know I love you. You're my boy. Yeah, I've never had these either. One of my roommates has a can of it, and my friend came over the other day. She goes, "These are yours?" I go, "I've never had them. I know. I don't even know."
I can't eat that stuff.
I think it's all good. I'm watching YouTube Buttholes Live, waiting for the news while I'm pushing 101 Fever. We can disagree at times. We can. And I disagree with you now because there's only one butthole here.
I'm going to have to get ready to go. Run.
Yeah. We're almost at 2 hours. Holy shit. All right, we can wrap it up. I want to thank everybody. So we have our 53. You know, we'll put a little pretty bow on this. And hey, I changed his name. I got tired. I grabbed his phone the other day and I changed his name. Speaking of buttholes, Little Nick is here.
What's up, little guy? How's your you turned out okay considering who your dad is.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of you.
It could be worse.
Really proud of you, Nicky.
Nick, it could be worse, man. You could look like Uncle Jeremy.
Look like me. I'm a bald-headed. I'm a bald-headed guy who's never going to get a girlfriend in college.
Jeremy was reading our text before. I'm going to close with this message from Jeremy. I talked to him today about 2:45. I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to go on around 3. You want to hop on? I'm like, wait. He answered the phone like, are you in the bathroom? Yeah, I've been in here since Saturday after all the McDoubles I had.
It's true.
It's true.
I ate like 4 McDoubles in those couple hours, and boy, did I pay for it.
Where'd he go? Hey, everyone. IOW Sports Network. I do shows on there Mondays and Thursdays with my friend Lamar. And
Is
this
that Lamar
asshole.
right there?
That's Jamel, I believe. That's usually his entrance line. We have a lot of fun. We cover all sports. Lamar does some crazy stuff. Mel's always got good takes. I'm me. You see what I get. We got a really good trio. We have guests on. We've done an NFL preview show. Do me a favor. Go check out the channel. Throw us a sub over there as well. And then pop in the show when we're on and enjoy yourselves there too. They got me into the podcast game. And then that's when I started really doing my show after hopping in with those guys. So I owe everything that this channel's becoming to them. And I'm sure Mel will screen record this and send it to me about how much I love them and use it against me. But go check them out, please. I recommend it. It's a good time. Yeah, it's almost time for dinner here too.
Wow.
Don't forget to turn on notifications. Yes. Turn them on. Get those alerts when we pop on. Jeremy and I are still going to do some practice wrap-up shows. It might be anywhere from popping on at noon to 3, anywhere in there. We'll play it off of our personal schedules. You know, I got rehabilitation for the knee starting up, and I have rehabilitation for the foot. For those that don't know, I unfortunately had a toe removed. Jeremy showed you before. I apologize again for that. Unfortunately, it looks just like his head. I got to get little miniature glasses and put like Mr. Potato Head glasses and put them on my foot, and it'll look just like you. So thank you, Jeremy. Remind everyone where we are tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, we are on Jets Lounge. That is the name of the channel, Jets Lounge. If you go into YouTube and search and say Jets Lounge and hit enter, you'll see a guy that looks like Mr. Clean or me, like a cartoon little icon. That's the correct channel. If you see that, you click subscribe, and then you could come and hang out.
It's right above his head on the flag. Point to it on the flag so they know what they're looking at. Other side. There you go. That one. It's some guy who looks like he's getting anally violated holding a football up. He looks a little shook by it. All right, what are you doing here? You're making everybody nauseous. Yeah, it's a bald head holding a football. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody.
I like the way you simplify my logo. It's a bald head holding a football.
Well, yes. This is what you are. Am I wrong? If I described that incorrectly, tell me.
Oh
You're not holding a hockey puck. You're not holding a carrot cake. It's a ball head guy holding a football.
It's 2:17. I haven't eaten a thing yet. I gotta go. I'm famished.
Go. Everyone, thank you. I gained 10 subs during today's show. I appreciate all you guys. We hit 42, which is a new personal high for me watching the stream. Thank you, everybody. And remember, as always, be loud, be proud, New York Jets fans. Take care. Later, muscles.
This is producer JR, and you are watching the proud New York Jets fan show. Now give it up for my boy Nick.
Rodgers is a fucking Jet. Let's go!
This for my special delivery. Spit like this, get my wrist all glittery.
Can't wait.
Get kicked, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the mean in the chivalry.
Let's make sure we
Rap
play
Buddha.
like the
You
New York
Buddha.
Jets.
Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a womb, no room for intruders. Spark, twist to the
now,
Philly.
give it
And
up
good
for
humor.
Big
Don't
Shot.
be silly. It's baby. I got it all smothered.
Let's go
Like
eat a
makeup.
damn snack.